Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch My Hero Academia Season 3, Episode 2. I just watched Episode 1. If you want to see my reaction video about it, I'm gonna put the link into the I'm gonna put the link also for the playlist that I made for My Hero Academia, because if you don't know it, if you are discovering my channel with this video, I binge watched all of the Season 1, all of the Season 2. I watched the 2 OVAs, I watched the movie, I watched the movie 2 Heroes, I watched the special going with the movie, and you can find all of these videos, all of my reactions and thoughts into these videos, you know, with a chronological order, you know, on the playlist that I made for My Hero Academia. Each time, you know, I make a playlist for each show, each anime that I'm reacting to, like it was the case for Attack on Titan, for Demon Slayer, for Chainsaw Man. You know, I'm thinking about all of the animes that I reacted to. Death Note also. If you want to have my reactions and my thoughts about all of these animes with the chronological order, you can find that on my channel. You can find that with this playlist. I make my job, you know, my homework with that really for you guys. So we're right there for this episode 2 of the season 3. The episode 1 was more a recap of all of what happened before, you know, during the season 1 and 2. That was cool for sure, because it's always great to see that our guys, they evolved a lot. Like, we began everything with kids, little kids, and now we have students who are really stronger, who are confronted to bad situations and who fought already against villains, and because of that they learned a lot about themselves, like it was the case also for Todoroki and Ida, and also for sure Dekku and the other ones, but in particular these two. And they also evolved with their quirks and all. And I said it before and a little during the previous episode, you know, the fact that all of them evolved with their quirks, with also their attitudes, their ways of seeing the world. Even the sweet Ochako, she evolved because she understood that she needs to really fight, you know, to go for it, to be brave and all. Even her, you know, she evolved, she had something for herself, and I have the impression that the only one who didn't evolve during the season 2, it was Bakugo. And because of that, I understand a little more what All Might said about Bakugo, the fact that if he continues like that, it's gonna be a waste, a total waste, because he's an amazing guy, you know, his quirk is amazing and he knows how to use it. And all of the explanation about why he always wants to be the best, that's great, that was interesting, because we understood that it's mostly because he wants to be like All Might. Dekku, seeing All Might, he wanted and he still wants to save people, you know, that's what it took from All Might, that example. Bakugo, admiring All Might since he's a little kid, what it took from him, seeing All Might being a hero, he saw that All Might was the best and that's why he wants to be the best. So that was a cool explanation, interesting, but it's not enough, you know, for his character to make something around his character and to go deeper with his character, it's not enough. And again, during the season 2, he was the only one who didn't evolve with his quirk, with his attitude, with his way of seeing the world. So I really, really hope that this season 3 is gonna be the season for Bakugo. I want to have more about him, I want to go deeper with him. During the season 2, we made that job with Todoroki, with Ida, and that was so great for both of them, and that was so emotional for both of them also, like, I cried a lot. So now I want the same for Bakugo, because I really think that this character can have that, you know, that time on screen and that narrative arc for the season, and all of the thing about his relationship with Dekku, about his goals and all, it can be great. And I have the impression also that All Might, he wants to keep an eye on him, on Bakugo, and he wants to help him to guide him. And we know, I knew it first, I said it even before they said it on screen. We know that All Might at some point is gonna disappear, is gonna die, so I want for All Might to help Bakugo for sure before that, you know, to really help him at some point. So for me, it needs to be during this season 3. I hope so. Right there, because the episode 1 was in fact the episode 0 was a recap episode, this episode 2 is really gonna be the beginning of the action of this season 3, meaning that that's it, we're gonna go on the summer training camp, we're not gonna have a time jump, you know, an ellipse about it, we're gonna see it, and that's gonna be cool with all of our students. And we know, because Aizawa said so, that they are paying attention to organizing that, you know, with the safest things, you know, like they are changing the localizations, they are really paying attention to that because they don't want for these students to be attacked again. With all of what happened to the group, they were attacked at multiple occasions, and Dekku himself, he was involved into so many things. The fact that Shigiraki, each time Shigiraki, the fact that he wants to see Dekku, to discuss with him directly and all, like, I think that it was really the summum of the fact that we have to be sure that all of these students, they're gonna be safe. So for this summer training camp, we can expect, you know, that they're gonna pay attention to it so much that nothing wrong is gonna happen. But at the same time, we saw that the League of Villains, they recruited new people, new guys, so maybe in fact they can be attacked by these new guys. We'll see about it. And also the movie, I understood, you know, with how stuff happened during this episode 1, the fact that what happened during the movie maybe happened after the summer training camp. You know, all of the situation with the gauntlet, the fact that also Dekku, he learned about David, he met Melissa, all of that, it was after the summer training camp, before going back to school. So for now, we're not gonna have any consequences about that, but at some point we're gonna have some consequences. Not now, not for me today, I mean, because this episode 2 is gonna be the last one that I'm gonna watch today, so it's okay. Let's go for this episode. Remember that if you want, you have my Patreon on which you can have 4 episodes of advance, which means 2 weeks of advance. It's really a lot, and you have extended direction part for all of these videos, because I'm not forced, you know, for Patreon to cut that much like I'm forced to do for YouTube, and to play with opacity and all of that. So if you want this extended reaction part, and if you want also the full reaction part for big episodes, you have my Patreon for that. It's the best way to support me. I'm a little reactor right there on YouTube and also on Patreon. So if you want and if you can support me, even if it's just for 1 month, it can be truly useful, truly appreciated. These last times, you know, they are hard for everyone, including me. So if you want and if you can, again, don't put yourself into any difficulty. If you want and if you can, it can be appreciated. Let's go for this episode! Oh, the sim, the music? You want stuff? You're preparing a new attack? That's a big promise. Finally! You're so sweet! You know, the 2 of them together. Sakura! No. Calm yourself, Dekku, calm yourself, breathe! Okay. You're gonna need to go there by yourself? Are quirks. They're not even into their costumes. That's cool. I hope that they're gonna help each other. Uh-oh. Alright. Ah, you can't talk to him, Koda. It's not an animal, it's a tree. You want them to improve faster. You need for them to be... Good job! All of you together! Another one or the same one? You always have two options, fight or run. All of the ones who can fight, let's go. Yeah. You're so good together, guys. I'm so proud. And the fact that they're working together just like that now, it's so easy. Like you're disappointed? Because they are just fighting without thinking. They are a little exhausted, you know. Hiroshima also is great. For sure this form, but also Fumikage and Hiroshima. I don't think he's truly a child. He looks a little like you. Why not? I was gonna say it. You're gonna like him. is wrong with you? Like, are you jealous or?
ぶっちゃけどうでもいいっすよ。求められてんのってそこじゃないっすよ。求められてんのはこの壁の向こうなんすよ。
The girls. The girls doing the same than you. Thank you for that, Kota. They didn't do that, they didn't do that, they didn't do that, they didn't draw that. Mineta, you know, falling like that. On Ida. Oi, oi, oi.
イレイザーに一人性欲のゴンギがいるって聞いてたから見張ってもらってたんだけど、とにかくなんともなくてよかった。よっぽど当ててくれたんだね。コウタ君がヒーローに否定的なんです。
Yes, I'm thinking, does he have a quirk?
で、この年の子がそんな風なの珍しいなって思って。普通に育ってれば、この子もヒーローに憧れてたんじゃないかな。タンバレンのいとこ。
What happened?
コウタの両親でヒーローだったけど殉職しちゃったんだよ。ヒーローとしてはこれ以上ないほどに立派な最後だし、名誉ある死だった。パパ、ママ、物心ついたばかりの子供にはそんなことわからない。
But why does he hate heroes? His parents were
置いていって
heroes.
しまった。同じヒーローである私らのこともよく思ってないみたい。
He's mad at the fact
気持
that
ち悪い人種なんだよ。
they died because they were heroes. He's just afraid of losing them.
とても無責任で一言な言い方になるけど、いろいろな考えの人がいる。立て続けに聞く価値観の相違に、僕は何も言えなかった。
5 a.m.?
本日から本格的に強化合宿を始める。前回入学直後の記録は 705.2 メートル。
To see if he changed. I'm not sure that Bakugo really progressed. He had a lot of advance, but now...
709.6 メートル。
あれ、思ったより。
留学からおよそ3ヶ月。さまざまな経験を経て、確かに君らは成長した。個性そのものは今見た通りで、そこまで成長していない。
Dekku's quirk evolved a lot.
死ぬほどきついがくれぐれも死なないように。
It was 10 minutes this episode. And I didn't see You, I knew it. Toga.
早く行こうぜ。
まだ少々。
今回はあくまでのしだ。
Where you are, guys? Are you into this forest?
輝かしい未来のためにな。
Oh, really? This episode felt like it was a 10-minute episode. You know, not a lot of big things happened, in fact, if you're thinking about it. It was mostly about our guys taking a bus to go into that place, to be left right there, to fight these creatures, to really have access to the training camp. They had dinner, they woke up, they went to bed, they woke up, and haha! We're gonna see that test and the fact that you didn't evolve at all, and that this summer training camp is gonna be that hard because we're gonna make sure that your quirks are also gonna evolve. That's it! No. With that also we had these new characters, 3 new characters, and that was cool, and we had little things about the League of Villains. About the bus, about our students, it was cool, you know, the fact that they're all right there. Mineta acting like a pervert, is it really a surprise? No. Ochako and Dekku being so awkward with each other, but at the same time it's so sweet, it's not a surprise. All of the other ones acting like that neither. It was great to see Class B for some seconds, maybe we're gonna see them again during this summer training camp. a little later maybe. The fact that they were left right there into the middle of the forest to have access after that to the training camp after fighting these creatures, that was a good idea. I love the fact that they all worked together and that was so easy for them, at least the fact that they didn't have to talk about, okay, you're gonna do that, you're gonna do that. They didn't discuss about it like, oh no, I don't want to do it, in fact we should do that, like, no. They spent so many times together and they are so used now to work together. They know each other's quirks, so they know how everyone can be useful. So it was so great to see that quickly they are working together and it's functioning well. And okay, it took them time, it took them 3 hours, but they had a lot of creatures to fight. And they did it no matter what. At the end they were exhausted, but they did it. Maybe, you know, the purpose of all of that, it was to show that yes, it's demanding them a lot of time and they were exhausted at the end, so they have to train harder, because right there it was creatures. If it was true villains, it would have been even harder. So maybe it was to show us that and to show them themselves, you know, also that. And it's also, you know, working with what Aizawa did the day after that test, you know, did you really evolve during that semester that you spent at our school? In fact, not at all. Bakugo, you thought that you evolved a lot and not that much, because all of you guys, you evolved, you know, with how you are using your quirk and also with your attitude and all, but really your quirk didn't evolve. That I'm not so okay with it, like I don't agree with it. First, I said it during the intro and also during other episodes, I have the impression that they all evolved, okay, mentally or technically, except for Bakugo. I have the impression that he didn't evolve mentally or technically. I have the impression that all of the rest, yes, they evolved mentally and or technically, like, you know, for Todoroki, the fact that now he uses also his fire side. Dekku evolved a lot with his quirk, you know, all of what he learned with Gran Torino, and the fact that now he can use all of his power, like, truly, all of the full cooling stuff. That's so cool. Ochako, she evolved, you know, she's going for it now, she's not afraid. Momo, she has confidence on herself again. Ida evolved also, like all of them, they evolved. And okay, for sure they're gonna continue to evolve a lot during all of these years, you know, that they're gonna spend into that school. But I think that some of them evolved also with their quirks. Again, for me, Dekku evolved a lot with his quirk. But that's gonna be great no matter what, to see them evolving with their quirks, with what Aizawa prepared for them. These new characters, you know, these two girls, they seem nice, maybe too excited. Like they're already like that all of the time, maybe a little too excited, but why not? The story of that boy seems really interesting. You know, at first, to have a kid like him, at his age, not being a fan of art students, and through that, you know, to not being a fan of heroes, I was like, maybe he's quirkless, and the writers, they want to show us that people who are quirkless, they can be like Dekku, like Melissa also that we saw into the movie. They can choose to work harder, to be an hero no matter what and all. Or maybe they can be like heroes, they're so wrong and all. You know, it was a different position than Stein's position with against the heroes, but in fact not really. He's against heroes who are doing illegal stuff, who are fake, who are hypocrites and all. That's great to be against that kind of heroes, but to go to kill them all, no, it's never gonna be okay for Stein to act like that. But his idea behind that, it's a good one, you know, at the beginning. The base of it was a good thing. But right there, it was a different position for that kid, so I was like, yes, maybe he's quirkless and he's against heroes because he's frustrated and all, and it would have been a different side, you know, of all of this system, all of these people. But no, his parents were heroes. Both of them died. We don't really know how, you know, it happened, and I think that it might be important because they hid, you know, their faces, so I'm like, maybe later we're gonna learn how they died or who they were truly, and it could be important because right there they died and he really took it like they abandoned me, and heroes, they have to die to protect people, it's not fair, so I'm against heroes. I think that there is something like that, you know, behind it, behind the fact that he hates heroes. He hates what heroes are forced to do and the fact that they can die, and maybe it turned that also like his parents gave up on him, abandoned him because they preferred to be heroes than to be his parents, you know, maybe something like that. You know, it's a kid, so for sure everything is a little mixed into his head. But that's gonna be interesting to talk with him, maybe for Dekku to help him to change his mind. I have the impression that these two also, they look like each other. You know that Kota, he looks a little like Dekku physically. It would be great to have a relationship like little and big brother between these two right there. Dekku saved him. He saved him because Minato was a fucking pervert and he fall. He fall like that on Ida. I don't want to talk about it. But then the boy saw the girls and their boobs and he fall also. It was too much for the kid. Mineta, I think, is never gonna disappoint me with all of the pervert things, situations into this anime. Each time, you know, that we have the beginning of a scene like that, I'm like, Mineta, are you there? Yes, for sure you're there. Like, I can anticipate how he's gonna react, the fact that he's gonna be around and all. Kaminari is a little like that, but Mineta is really a pervert. The fact that right there they pointed at, you know, Ida, Bakugo, Todoroki and Dekku saying that they are the best, I'm glad because I think that they are the best, but I think that into the same group, you know, you can put also Fumikage and Kirishima, and I'm not saying that they are the best, I'm more like their powers, their quirks are the strongest, in the sense really the strongest during a fight. But they all proved that all of their quirks are useful and really cool during a real fight against villains. Even, you know, some quirks which can't be truly useful during a fight, a moment of fight and all, still they are useful to fight enemies because you can see them coming from a long distance, you can hear them coming from a long distance. You know, all of these quirks which are not really like, during a fight, what can you do, like physically, directly, face to face to a villain, what can you do truly? Not that much, but in fact they are truly useful to the group. Quick reminder about what my quirk would be. Now I never saw it, you know, into this anime, a quirk which made me think, I want this one, I would be this one. Since I saw with you guys, I discovered with you guys Avatar The Last Airbender, you know that I saw myself into what airbending is, and it will really, all of the culture around that, all of the mood, all of the principles and values, I saw myself so much into it that now I consider myself really as an airbender. So each time now into powers, quirks and all, I imagine that it would be around that, around an air situation. So, you know, into a universe like that, I really think that my quirk would be to move the wind or to have an impact on the weather or something like that, you know, a little like tornado into X-Men. something like that, or just, you know, to be able to move the wind and to create real tornado or something like that. Okay, I'm gonna stop right now this review. I will see you during my next session of binge watching for My Hero Academia. Remember that if you're watching this on YouTube, on my Patreon, you can already have my reactions and my thoughts about the 4 next episodes, if you can be interested by that. Okay, it's all for you and for me for today, so it's all for me for now, so bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Hey.